Could this strategy backfire on the Democrats? Well, the Republican Party might ride on the coattails of a popular candidate like Donald Trump all the way to a landslide victory in 2016. Here to discuss is Nomiki Konst, former congressional candidate and political strategist who happens to hail from the left side of the political spectrum. Welcome to America Trends, Nomiki. Nice to have you.
Nice to see you, Dr. Gina. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Now, Nomiki, do you think this is a good strategy to tie the entire Republican Party and the entire field of GOP presidential candidates to Donald Trump? I mean, do you think it's a good strategy for the Democrats?
I think for the Democrats, they're just looking at whatever target they can get right now. I mean, they're trying to incite their base just as much as the Republican Party is. And when you go after such a, please excuse me for saying this, he's a fool, Donald Trump, when he says foolish things, it's just an easy target. And they have fun with this. I mean, that video was hysterical. I was laughing as I watched it. I personally can't say Trumplican. It doesn't make sense to me. But, they're looking for clever ways to get their message out.
Trump is leading in a new poll, Nomiki, of North Carolina voters. So Trump is doing something right, at least with his base. Don't you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the base responds to this type of rhetoric. And that's the problem with primaries, is that both parties have to go either all the way to the left or all the way to the right. And those in the middle really struggle. Now, the majority of Republicans right now and the majority of businesses that do operations with Trump are pushing back. The problem is that most of the candidates have not supported, most of the Republican candidates, yes, Ted Cruz, yes, Huckabee, in some ways Jeb Bush has sort of supported him, but then he snapped back at him last week. The majority of candidates have not pushed back on Trump. And that's going to be a problem for the general election, and that's why Reince Priebus had this call with him this week, basically saying, you've got to tone down the rhetoric, Trump, because this is going to hurt us in the long run. The problem is that Donald Trump is so crazy, he's so insane and so caught up in his own ego that he might become a third-party candidate and really cause a lot of problems for the rest of the Republican field.
I mean, I don't know, Nomiki, because, we obviously hail from different sides of the aisle, and that makes me appreciate you all the more coming on the show and talking about this, because many, frankly, of your colleagues won't do it. But I look at a White House in a rainbow flag, and then the idea that the Democrats are calling Donald Trump crazy. To me, that seems extremely radical, more radical than I've ever seen out of an administration, really ever. And it doesn't make Trump look radical to me. It looks to me like Trump is embracing an ideology that fine Democrats don't embrace, but the majority of conservatives do. And the bottom line is, conservatives, I think, feel like for years, they've taken the milquetoast, middle-of-the-line candidate, and it doesn't work. The Mitt Romneys, the Bushes of the world don't work because they don't motivate the base. I don't have a doubt in my mind that if Donald Trump was on the ballot today, the base is motivated, and Republicans might just win with him. Do you see that differently, just from a strictly analytical point?
From a strictly analytical point of view, looking at the data, there are a lot of issues that I can say the president has been very vocal on, that I can see he's pulling away the rest of America. And I get that. I look at the numbers. But the reality is that most people want comprehensive immigration reform. Most people are not racist, and he's made some pretty insulting comments. When in California, just yesterday, put in the LA Times, said that Latinos now outnumber whites. You don't think that's a problem for the Republican Party? I mean, clearly, when you just look at the data, you see that most Americans, Americans who are progressing, who grew up in America, post-1960s, understand that we are a very ethnically diverse country. And if Republicans do want to win the general, then they really have to start to progress on these issues.
But I mean, does that mean, Nomiki, that the Republicans need to shy away from their version of the truth? I mean, even if you don't agree with it, if Donald Trump thinks, gosh, something really needs to be done about what is illegal, and that is crossing our borders, what we can't do into Mexico, for example, without being arrested, what is, by the way, a felony, I don't understand why he just can't call that like it is, Nomiki, and why he's called insane for saying, hey, that's bad.
Well, he's insane because he's saying it in a very nasty way. There's a way of saying it in Ted Cruz, he's very well spoken. I don't agree with him on any single issue, but he knows how to speak politely. He doesn't insult other citizens on stage. He doesn't insult.
And I like him too, Nomiki. We're out of time, unfortunately. I think you and I could chat all day. We'll have you back. Thanks for being with us.